Please say and spell your name.
Barbara J. Meadows.
My name is Johnny W. Barfield.
My name is Dorothy Mae Wilson.
My name is Paul Edwin Wasson.
My name is Tessie Ola Freeman.
Most of us lived, were combined within a certain area, 4th, 5th Ave, Beeks.
Early on, I knew everybody that lived in the 3 streets from where I live at. And I knew everybody on every street. But now I don't even know the people 4 doors from me now.
Well, I love Ypsilanti. There's something about it. I just love it.
I can remember when the first African-American woman was hired on State Street to work as a sales lady. Mm-hmm. Everyone in the black community was talking about it. Mm-hmm. Up until then, the only time African Americans went on that campus was when they were a maid cleaning a dormitory or they were a janitor.
But now Ann Arbor is growing so fast, and it's such a prosperous city that I find myself sort of staying more out of downtown than downtown.
Okay. All right.
But I think it's wonderful that so many people appreciate Ann Arbor and all the culture that's here, and they're coming here to make the place an even better place, and that's remarkable.
Ann Arbor has come a long, long ways, and I feel very comfortable and very happy, and I think you can see it in the students that come here now, and many of them are staying. You can see it in the larger middle class that we have here that we didn't have before.
I've heard it said of African Americans, and I'm sure it's been said of others, that when people get to be pretty well off, they forget where they came from. Mm-hmm. I never want anyone to say that Johnny and Betty Barfield forgot where they came from. We came from the south side of Ypsilanti. Mm-hmm. We came from the Park Ridge Community Center. And we're concerned that that center is open, because if it were closed, it would be devastating to the community, and the people there would have no place to go for recreation and social activities.
And always a place you could just bring somebody, take them on a tour, and point out all these different buildings and structures.
So there's been a lot of improvement in this community. I think that we've learned to work together.
My background for that is growing up in an all-black neighborhood where everybody was a family.
Christmas was a time my father, as a minister, we didn't have much money, but he would say, "Oh, I don't think we're going to be able to afford a Christmas tree this year." And so all of us would feel so sad about that. But he would always come in with the Christmas tree on Christmas Eve. And that's because as the farmers would leave, they didn't want to take the trees home with them, so they just gave it to us.
In our house, every day was a holiday. At the end of the workday, when people would come home from the fields and wash up, have a nice meal, we'd sit out on the porch and eat, or we'd sit before the fireplace in the winter and talk. It was visiting. Sometimes the neighbors would come by, and the conversation could be anything from, "I bought this horse last week and it's the best mule I've ever had," or "It's the sorriest mule I ever had." It was just a time to catch up. Okay. And it was old-fashioned living, and I'm afraid that's gone.
My father would hang up his socks. Sometimes they had a hole in it or something, but it would be clean, and my brother. And then that's the time we'd get a piece of fruit. If we got an orange, maybe we'd get that at Christmas, and a candy cane. And at that time, the Christmas tree, they'd go in the woods and get a tree. And you didn't have the electric lights quite naturally. You had candles.
Okay.
You'd light a little candle and put on a tree. So Christmas was one of our big days.
I don't know whether all of the segregation was imposed on us by others, or whether we imposed some of that on ourselves by ourselves. For example, when we used to go to movies, we'd go up in the balcony because we felt that's where we had to sit. certain restaurants in Ypsilanti we didn't go to because we felt we were not welcome. But I think if we had gone in there, I don't think anyone would have said you can't eat here or you're not welcome here. We just felt that after a lifetime of being treated that way, we just felt that we weren't welcome.
I was at Inkster, Michigan school from kindergarten through the 6th grade. I had only African-American teachers. And when I came to Ann Arbor, and I was here from 46 to 49, I went to Jones School, and I had white teachers there for the first time. And I had classmates who were also white. They were bused in from Whitmore Lake at that time.
There's a lot of places you couldn't go at that time. So we would just go for long
And Willow
rides.
Run and Ipsy, there are
Yeah.
a lot of places you couldn't go.
Right. We would just go for long rides. Every Sunday evening we went for a long ride. And then we go to the movie, because there was a theater right in Willow Run. And then there was Cunningham Drugstore. We may go down there and have a sandwich and ice cream or something like that.
Eating in Ann Arbor at restaurants, I cannot recall going to a restaurant and sitting down to eat as we do now. There were certain places where you could go and get an ice cream cone. And the Washtenaw Dairy, that was one of the places. But it wasn't like going to McDonald's and sitting down to eat or anything like that.
I remember my wife telling me about a restaurant they went to once, and after the people got through eating, they dropped the dishes on the floor and broke the floor as a means of letting them know they weren't, broke the dishes as a means of letting them know that they weren't welcome there.
Coming to Ann Arbor, there was no accommodations like going to a public hotel. If there were trains coming through the city, the people working on the trains, they would have to go to an African-American home.
We don't sell to black people, or Negroes or something, I don't know what he said. But anyway, he said, I said, what'd you say? He said, we can't sell you this. My boss told me not to sell to Negroes.
I'm reminded of a friend of mine who came here looking for a house, and the realtor was showing her certain places, and she was saying, no, that's not what I want. And he would take her somewhere else, and she said, no, that's not what I want. She had a family. Finally, he says, I think I know what you want. And he took her to this place. He said, to a street. And he says, I really can't sell you this house.
The advice that I would give to the younger generation is to respect the elders, to love yourself, to love God, do unto others as you have them to do unto you, and get an education.
The most important things in a person's life is their family, their faith, their health, and their friends.
Right.
And they said if you remember this, you will have a balanced life.
You need to know your history, but don't dwell in it, but to take advantage and to try to make things better for all men, for everyone.
The doors are open. The opportunity is there. Get your education.
Get an education. Because I didn't have the chance.
You didn't have opportunities that there's so many now.
Yep.